the situation started to get tight. The first thing that happened was those old allies leaking information. Globo. Hoj went after Toffoli again. All this scandal where he got the evidence for himself, then decided that Gone looked really bad, and then he went and picked the federal police officers to investigate that guy. Even Amado. The other day he was going after Alexandra de Moraes because of the 129 million involving his wife, this whole situation. Even he went after Toffoli. Now, because this story isn't going to go over well, because what's about to be revealed, my friends, draw your own conclusions. One of the lawyers for the JBS group, right, is his wife. Recently, JBS got fined, right? 10 billion Reis. There, so we can say things have calmed down, right? A lawyer typically charges 20-30% of the case. That hasn't exploded yet. Everyone knows, but it hasn't happened. It's like the resort everyone knew Toffoli's relatives visited at Tayaya. Now that things are heating up, they're showing this, I'll show you too. By the time we get to the election period, man, a lot more stuff is going to come out, and we're only in January. Hit the like button. We're going to cover everything here. News, information, come join our family. Don't forget to subscribe here. I'm going to bring everything here on the channel. From now on, my friends, before we start, I want you to take a look at this image here. Do you see it? That's me in a drylease. Look how big my face is. This other video here that I made for TikTok, I made it about 5 or 6 months ago. Look at my double chin. Look at the size of my face. Look how swollen I was. 20 kilos more. 20 kilos more. Now, I want you to take a look at this other image here. You see it, guys. Slim Fever, this product here that I advertise on the channel, here on our channel, is official, okay? It's official. It's the place with the biggest discount. I have a partnership directly with the owner of Slim Fever because it was through this little product here that I managed to lose 20 kilos. 20 kilos. I was 105 kilos today. I'm 85 thanks to Slim Fever. So if you're thinking about going on a diet, we know that at the end of the year, right, beginning of the year and all, keep in shape. I use Slim Fever. It's a little powder. You put it in water, stir it, and it gives you that feeling of fullness, you know? And you'll be able to lose inches. If I could do it, why can't you do it too? So it's a great product in the fight against obesity. For us to lose weight and look good, it's an excellent opportunity. All the results are here. All the results are right here. A few months ago, 20 kilos. I am living proof that I was able to lose weight. I made a direct deal with the Slim Fever supplier. You won't be able to buy it at our price anywhere else. Here is the best deal on the entire internet. So the link is right here, just below. Don't miss this chance. Let's lose weight, get slim, and look great. Your quality of life will improve. The link is just below. Claudio Dantas posted it today, right? Companies in Masters Web use federal land. In other words, Lula is also involved. Sooner or later, Partido dos Trabalhadores will get caught up in this whole web. Federal land is yours. It belongs to Brazilians. To generate 45 billion in carbon credits, this new business where they use land to produce carbon and then they get money by paying less in taxes. There are multiple situations. Golden Green, Global Carbon. They gain value from credits allegedly generated on land meant for agrarian settlements, land originally designated for that purpose. For those lazy freeloaders who don't like to work, they were there. The company of Master was there. They used audits and reports to approve billion-dollar company gains without verifying the credit's forest origin. In other words, once again, using this narrative, do you think these people are really concerned about the forest? It's the same thing. There are thousands of NGOs just in the Amazon. Those guys are over there worried about bushes and trees. We care, but not them. Not them, right? I've said this before. I love gardening, but only at my own house. I keep planting, because if I have a hole, I dig and put something in it, right? Because we like it. It's in our nature. Now, these people aren't like Marina Silva. Marina Silva doesn't even water the garden at her own house. It's the gardener who does that for her. I'm sure that if she has any plants inside her house, they die of thirst. Then she just throws them away and buys new ones. It's like this, you there, right? Who take care of everything with so much care. You go there, put in all the effort, take care, and all that. These people don't. And when we look at someone like that, a guy who put an innocent person behind bars, which was the narrative that Alexandra de Moraes needed. They worked together on that, right? There was also the situation with Luciano Hang. Luciano Hang, who in the WhatsApp group was also plotting a coup d'etat. He was desperate for a coup d'etat. This group, do you know what's the most absurd thing about all of this that we're witnessing? Luciano Hang can't run for senator, for example, or for congressman and so on. But Orawan, that ugly kid, my goodness, he's really something, right? He looks like a dog eating a mango. He can run for office. That says it all, absolutely everything, about the phase our country is in right now. A man who creates 22,000 jobs is honest, pays a ton of taxes because of this awful guy here, right? It's that fake news story. He can't run for office, but the guy who openly supports all kinds of bad things, you know, all that garbage, that guy can run for office. Man, Brazil is exhausting. Look at what PRI posted here. Look, Guilherme Amado, responsible for the arrest of Felipe Martins. Blasting Dias, Toffoli opens quotes, because Toffoli doesn't want the federal police to investigate. On what basis does a minister prevent the federal police from analyzing evidence? There are a number of facts that make him a suspect in the Banco master fraud case. The guy here is saying that Dias Toffoli is a suspect for much less, for absolutely less. Sérgio Reis had the federal police, Globo's helicopter, all that show flying over his house. Look at that, a criminal, we're here, right? Sérgio Reis. One of the most honest people I've ever met in this country, and in this country's politics, Sérgio Reis. We had someone like Sérgio Reis, who's now a congressman. I'm absolutely sure he would be there at President Bolsonaro's doorstep. Him at his age. It's over, right? Is it? You deserve rest too, right? After all you've done for our country, always honest and never stealing. Yet, the federal police went to Sérgio Reis's house. To make that spectacle, grab a cell phone, grab something here, grab something there, just to say they went to Globo to make all that fuss, remember? Guys, look at this situation, all of this. One day, every single detail will have to be accounted for. Just to make President Bolsonaro look like a criminal? Really? Send the federal police after 1, 2, 10, 20, 100 people. Man, at the house of one of the greatest musicians in this country, the federal police were there. It's going to take years. Honestly, I think I'll be gone by then, if God allows it. I'm sure He will, right? Yeah, I won't be able to see the federal police with the same eyes we used to see them years ago. For me, this will end, but the institutions will remain. For me, one of the most absurd things, I just can't accept it. Maybe the new generations will, though. I will always teach my son to be wary of the federal police. My son knows that in my house, the military police are extremely respected, especially since most of my friends are military police officers. Friends that, I grew up with, for example, my best friend, right? He and I were practically born together, same year, one house next to the other, you know? He's an honorable military police officer, and we took the exam together. I always share this story here, right? And he followed the path of being a police officer. I followed the path of journalism, and my friends aren't like that. I'm telling you, I know few people who defend the police like I do, but the federal police for me, honestly, right? Yeah, it's a dirty trick. And now they're seeing what's happening, what Diaz Toffoli did to them. In other words, no Supreme Court justice is in a position to investigate anything. Materials, evidence, those kinds of things. Diaz Toffoli did that, then he chose the police officers. What impartiality is that? Is this going to go through now? But before anything else, I start to remember things that were done. Guys, Sérgio Reis, an extremely good man, right? This guy went along with everything. Now he claims that since I'm talking, the federal police will come to his house and arrest him. Reis is going to charge him with fake news. He's saying it here. Look over there, he says. I'm not going to play the audio here, not going to play it. Toffoli opposes a police investigation, believing the Attorney General's office should handle it, as the Constitution states, correct? Only the Attorney General's office can investigate, not the federal police. That's why I wanted to quickly comment on Toffoli's absurd decision. Yesterday, I spoke not only with a key person, right, in the federal police regarding this case, but also with a great criminal lawyer who has nothing to do with this case. But yeah, he's not representing anyone here. I asked both of them, technically, is this wrong or not? It's a question mark about what Toffoli did, because to me, it seems like a scandal. On what basis does a Supreme Court justice prevent the federal police, which is an institution, from analyzing evidence? What is potentially there is potentially there. It's proof of what was collected. Both the person I spoke to, the possibly biased federal police officer on the case, and an unbiased criminal lawyer unconnected to the case, both said what is wrong. Technically, what Toffoli is doing is strange, and because it is, let's see, wrong.
And strange wrong, because technically it's wrong. The federal police is an agency of,
He said the same thing he said here at the beginning. It's because Toffoli doesn't want the federal police to investigate. I think the Attorney General's office should investigate. The Constitution also gives them authority. The Constitution also gives them investigative powers. The federal police have the victim, all of that. That's even, he's saying it here, see? There are a number of facts that make the case of the Banco master fraud suspicious. Man, today, the situation has grown. There's more to this angle, and there's more reason to suspect Toffoli, to question his independence. In this case, he had ordered well, it's also strange, but he called for a confrontation between Daniel Vorcaro and one of the directors of the central bank. We're going to tell you who this director is in a moment. So, there are a series of facts related to Toffoli. And also, just to remind you, just to mention this guy here, his website, called Plateau, was owned by Vorcaro, who also owned Guilherme Amado's website. In other words, this guy here is defending Diaz Toffoli. I mean, he's defending Daniel Vorcaro, sorry, because that's his livelihood. Now that he's unemployed, Globo got rid of him, and he can't get in anywhere else. He belongs to Daniel Vorcaro. Daniel Vorcaro runs several left-wing websites, several of them here, like this Dua Libre. Look at this. Diaz Toffoli's decision to specifically appoint 4 federal experts to work on the Banco master case has completely soured the relationship between the agency and the Supreme Court. Behind the scenes, the police leadership saw this move as a strong message. I don't want your institutional participation. The procedure adopted by the minister is considered unusual. The standard bureaucratic procedure would be for the Supreme Court to forward the request to the National Institute of Forensics, which has a staff of more than 200 experts. So, the agency's management could assign professionals by specialty. Even Globo, this is not going to end well, is it? And there's still a lot more to come. A lot more. Look. It smells really bad. Please share this video on WhatsApp or Telegram, hit like, and send the link to others. Join our channel family, parents and children, Fabiano Guigay, Big hug to all, stay with God, see you next video. Thanks, I'm out.